and cheap wine. We gather around the mic, just killing time. Tales of glory days, now long behind. A podcast of dads who lost their
Hey, it's Underscore. Your time pals are back after a long winter break and somehow a little nerdier than ever. This week, we're looking at some of the worst and weirdest video game marketing campaigns ever. We're talking day one disasters, tone-deaf executive decisions that created some pretty incredible moments. Before we get into it, I want to welcome back your pals, Jon Powell and ShadoSpartan. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Part of the reason why I pitched this episode is that I fell into this YouTube rabbit hole when Sony released Conquered. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I mean, I definitely heard of it.
Okay. So if you don't know, Conquered flopped really hard, but basically very truncated. Sony wanted its own Overwatch back when Overwatch was making millions upon billions of dollars. They eventually devoted about $400 million to bring this game to life. The problem was Sony didn't have an actual vision beyond just give us Overwatch. So what gamers got was this ugly game with characters that look like background actors in a Guardians of the Galaxy porn parody. Absolutely nothing sets it apart, other than to give like the anti-woke streaming community months upon months of content, which is the rabbit hole I fell into. Before the failure, though, how Sony decided to hype up and market this eventual disaster of incredibly expensive property was they basically had quoted before they released it that this was going to be their Star Wars. So they devoted an Amazon short called Secret Level.
Yeah.
They made a short for it, introduced a character that wasn't even in the game, but were so confident they planned it out to be like a future download. So even
didn't the game tank before that episode even
I was
released?
just about
too?
to say,
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
they were
sorry. I
just
took that from you.
You beat me to it, but they were so confident in this shit that they basically were like, well, we've got plenty of time. They released this character that no one's ever going to play as ever. They planned toys, they planned comic books, the whole thing. And they started everything off by showing a teaser trailer, which was a CGI hamburger and a shaking frying pan in a moving spaceship. And that was it. You didn't get to see the characters. You didn't get to see the ship. You saw basically the screen and a bunch of stuff shaking inside, and that was everything. And like you have, one of those like colorful little doodads that show that you're in hyperspace. The final total number of copies, when it was all said and done, sold 25,000 copies. That's it. That includes PS5 and Steam. We're talking one of the biggest disasters like gaming history. So when we were pitching ideas, I thought it'd be like a really fun, easy one to do. And it got me thinking after the Concord debacle, what was my earlier generation's version of Concord? And that for me would be Daikatana, which John was probably not born. But Daikatana is the video game that the Doom co-creator Jon Romero made after he split with Carmack. So huge pedigree, right? There's a fantastic book that came out about a decade ago called Masters of Doom, which I own if you ever want to borrow it. It chronicles id Software's rise and how nerds became rock stars. And it's, for guys like me, it's amazing. If you don't know Jon Romero, he's got gorgeous, like 80s style hair.
Yeah.
It's all shiny.
I'm very jealous of it, in fact.
Right? And then Carmack is the reverse. Carmack is what you picture like if you were casting a movie. Yeah, you picture John. If you're casting a NASA movie,
It's me.
and you would tell John, hey, back it up a little bit because no one's going to believe you. So that's Carmack. And obviously they had a split. Daikatana was going to be the magnum opus for Jon Romero, the rock star god. He had the hot model girlfriend, drove all the fast cars. John Carmack, in comparison, liked building rockets. It's just, that's how they're complete opposites. So Romero decides, okay, how am I going to set Daikatana apart from everything? So he has this huge ad campaign, and it's famous for everybody. The ad was basically what huge nerds like me would imagine an alpha dude bro would sound like after like, for real, after like 6 cans of Surge and endless replays of Mick Foley getting thrown off the cell. It's a blood red poster on a black gunmetal background with the words, Jon Romero is about to make you his bitch. And then, because apparently he and I were both badasses in Degeneration X gear back in middle school, he then tells you in small letters at the bottom to suck it down. It is a famous ad campaign at the time. Told you nothing about the game at all. just that he was going to make one, and that was going to be enough for you to just basically see his dick.
Wow.
So Daikatana would become a failure, one of the most famous failures of all time, partly because Quake came out, which was Carmack's game, immediately outshone everything, Carmack being the actual genius programmer. Daikatana got stuck in development hell, constantly changing it, constantly playing catch up. The characters were also really bad, similar to Concord, and had none of the charm or the chaos that the Doom characters had. So you basically have a worse version of everything, right? Similar to Concord and Overwatch. But over 20 years later, the one thing that still stands is Jon Romero's ad campaign. You can look up Daikatana all you want. Nobody remembers playing this, but it's going to be top front and center for a lot of worst of lists, just bar none. So with that said, I wanted to post it to the group. So what are some of the worst video game ad campaigns you've ever seen?
I guess this one is just more weird, in my opinion. Of all the marketing strategies, why would you focus on, let's find a group that actually hates our game, and that's going to be the reason you should get this game? And I'm talking about Dead Space 2. If you guys remember that 30-second commercial where apparently they showed a bunch of moms clips, I guess, of Dead Space 2, and they said, your mom will hate this game, and that's why you should get it.
But there's no real explanation other than if your mom hates it, you're going to love it.
Right.
I mean, yeah, if you're 13 and you've got like a fucking flock of seagulls quaff and you're listening to My Chemical Romance, then God, Mom.
I just thought it was always a weird strategy for an M-rated game, and I don't know. I guess I just thought most of your audience at least probably would be teenagers.
Oh God, that's right.
But for
it would
a
be
Dead
Mom's
Space
gonna
game,
hate
it's
it,
like,
but I need her to buy it for me.
yeah, exactly. You need mom to
say-
get this game, but you're advertising it saying your mom's gonna hate this game.
Your mom's gonna. How am I going to get her to buy the fucking thing?
Right.
Rent it from Blockbuster and not return it? What do you do?
Right. So I just thought that was an interesting, probably not the best strategy to market a game. That's
No,
just
not at
my
all.
opinion.
No, that's I want to go. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'd love to go see it because it's probably recent enough that it made it on there, because there's a lot of these that when I was looking around, it was hard to find, because not so much proof, but like evidence of it.
Yeah.
But that'll be a fun one to look at. I've never played a Dead Space game because I'm a wuss.
Me
You would
neither.
love it. See, the irony is like the first Dead Space game is incredible. It's got one of the best twist endings I've ever played in a video game, quite frankly. But the irony with that is, let's say you were like, I don't know, 16 years old when Dead Space 1 came out. When Dead Space 2 came out, you're going to be like 19. So like your mom shouldn't have any bearing on whether or not you want to play this game at all.
You would think, yeah.
That's fair. All right. So I picked two of them, and one of them is significantly more involved than the other. I'm gonna do the smaller of the two. So for those that remember, there was a short-lived game series called Mercenaries, and this specifically was Mercenaries 2. Mercenaries 2 came out in, I believe, 2008. The first one, or 2009. The first one was, I think, 2004 or 5. Was a PS2 game. But Mercenaries 2, it was a well-received series too.
Right.
It was a well-received series.
Pandemic games, right?
LucasArts, right?
It was LucasArts.
Yeah.
Now,
I love the first
no.
one.
It was the first one. The second one was crap. I can't think who it is right now. I mean, it was still Electronic Arts. It was EA.
Oh, was it EA?
I think
it was EA.
I think the
It was
first
Electronic
one
Arts.
was LucasArts, I thought. And then the second one was EA, I think.
The second was EA.
Published, I mean.
Now, I will preface this with, I 100% picked this purely because of similarities to recent political news.
Oh my God, please tell
boy.
me now.
Do either of you know what the storyline of Mercenaries 2 World in Flames is?
I never played the second one.
The main character wants to assassinate the Venezuelan president.
No way.
Wow.
The game's marketers
Oh my
actually linked the game to
Oh,
2 real gas stations. The Los Angeles-based one was fine.
right.
The London one had trouble, but the reason they linked to this gas station is because the game scenario also incorporates Venezuelan oil facility. And I was like, this is too good. So that what happened was EA took over Last Stop Petrol in Finsbury Park, North London. Took it over completely. Turned it into a bunker, sandbags, jeeps, oil barrels, etc. Faked armed people, like all of that. And as part of it, they gave away, at the time, £20,000, British pounds, not by weight, pounds of free gas, which is roughly 34,000 pounds today, or just shy of 50 grand US today. So 50 grand worth of gas, not bad. 40 pounds per person. It got to the point where the line was backed up so far that drivers were getting out and fighting. The police shut it down really, really quickly.
Yeah, I actually think I remember hearing about this headline way back on X-Play. That was on G4
Yeah.
TV back in the day.
Yeah.
They had a little news section. I just remember them mentioning about the launch of one of the
I don't know
Mercenaries
this
games.
one at all. No
So
way.
like these are 2 pictures. They had actors in costume going out and directing traffic with these signs for free gas.
The 1990s. If you're a Gen X or even a Zennial, the music raised us. Join me, Naomi Carmack, on a trip back to visit your favorite artists of the decade on the Dope Nostalgia podcast. I talk with the hitmakers and discuss their biggest hits and catch up on where they are now. We also talk about the big stars with friends and experts. Dope Nostalgia. Listen today on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever podcasts are served.
Oh, get out.
That's all you needed. And then
Right?
you
That's
got
all you
people
needed.
showing up.
You got
I'm
people
glad they
showing
did
up.
it in London and not the US. You know how many bodies there would
No,
be?
they
They
did.
did
They did
both.
do it in the
Oh, they
U.S.
did? Oh,
They
shit.
did it in Los Angeles, and somehow there were 0 issues.
No way.
Of all places,
On-
LA.
Of all places, just on a gas station in downtown LA, no free gas, no problem. It got to the point though, like with the police having to break it up and everything, that one of the British Parliament members actively sought an apology from EA,
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
alleging that the maker of the video games were attempting to incite fuel riots
Oh, my
Jesus
God.
in London along the lines of the ones that had been happening in Venezuela at the time. And it's just, yeah, it's one of those things where the politicians were completely blowing it out of proportion with that whole, like, you're trying to incite riots, but also the fact that people were just like getting out of their cars and fighting over what back then, $50 worth of gas. Just amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. And I know that EA in the end, I don't think they ever gave an apology for it or walked it back or anything like that. I think they just kind of were like, you guys shut it down. We
Whatever.
stopped. We didn't push the matter. You shut it down. It's over. Okay. Sorry, not like sorry, but like fucking sorry, asshole. Like keep
They should have done what they did with their Madden series and have like a different dictator on each cover,
Right.
that would have been awesome.
but still holding a football.
Still holding. Oh man.
Okay, the next one I found. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Injustice 2, the
Yes.
video
Oh, yeah.
game. Yeah. Fighting game, DC characters,
Quality fighting game.
Yeah, enjoyable.
They all look like they're from the Snyderverse. I know that's why
hey,
you love
they
it.
got some costumes
Everything is
from
dark.
the Snyderverse.
Everything is
Hon-
dark.
I'll be honest.
Everything
Hey,
is-
if they ever made a live action movie of it, Zack
Oh, it'd be
Snyder
so
would be a
fucking
good
cool.
choice. Not the only one, but I'm sure even people would be like, you know what? Zack Snyder would fit that.
To
Anyway,
be fair, the storyline, as fucking insane as it is really fun. It is a
Yeah.
really fun story.
Like that. Yeah, they did a good job of tying it to the comics and for like and or vice versa. I guess they tied the comics to the game.
And
more
killing
than tied
characters off, like they didn't give a shit.
oh yeah, seemed like they gave the writer like that choice or that option. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, if you
right?
want to kill off some people, go right ahead.
Everybody.
It's an alternate universe. Fuck it. Right.
They
So-
were setting it anyway.
So apparently they have a mobile version of Injustice 2.
Oh.
And of course, corporations, they always, want to get involved in every kind of celebration event in real life. So, what's the best way to celebrate Pride Month in a fighting game?
Oh no. Did they invent a character just to kick its ass?
No, they didn't invent one, but why not
They just-
pick the most queer character in the DC universe, Poison Ivy?
I am not in that game.
And the goal was for players to beat her up enough time to get special prizes.
Oh,
And
Jesus Christ.
if the community as a whole could beat her up 500,000 times, they get
Oh my
extra
God.
special prizes.
Oh my God.
I believe it only lasted for a couple days before Warner Brothers found out, yeah, this was not the best
Didn't
way
think this
of
through.
representing Pride Month by beating up the most queer character in the DC universe. So
Injustice 2 was still the Mortal Kombat guys, right? Back then.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
NetherRealm who made Mortal Kombat.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And so
Well,
they eventually stopped the event, and Warner Brothers issued an apology, and they said they will do better with communicating and doing better for the LGBTQ plus community.
communicating. Yeah.
Mhm. They learned their lesson.
That
Mhm.
is wonderful.
Poison Ivy, too, out of everybody.
I love Poison Ivy.
Even if it wasn't a queer character, we're beating up a girl. We're just wailing on a, you know what I mean? There's no, how do you win that?
That is gender equality, sir. I
Right.
forgot to move my camera over here. She, I mean, she could probably handle of all of the female DC
yeah, but if the
villains.
reward is to
She-
beat her up a
she
half
fucking
a million
kicks
times
ass, man.
or
Right.
whatever it is.
like just, I mean, slamming people with fucking vines the size of skyscrapers. I feel like, yeah, but also, yeah, poor choice,
Right.
guys, poor choice.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did anybody like actually did they actually get to the prize?
Yeah, did they get the extra prizes?
I'm going to say no, since they said
Okay.
it only lasted for a couple of days before they took it down. So I'm going to guess
they took it
no.
down. Okay.
There's definitely a segment of that fighting community where it's probably already done. You know what I mean? They've
Yeah.
already done it.
And this just happened back in 2021. So,
They buried that
That is
fast that I've never
recent.
heard
Yeah.
of this. That's
That
incredible.
is very recent. Okay.
well, they're probably hoping, it would get buried and no one would remember. But whoops. Okay. Now everyone's going to remember now.
I mean, assuming we have viewers,
Right.
listeners, what have you.
I've got a very short one, and I'll save my longer one for the end. Just so Josh
Okay.
can take a look. But you don't have the Resident Evil 6 one, do you?
No.
Okay, so very fast. RE6, it comes from a long line of like zombie games where they kind of like the prize or whatever it is usually something super bloody and kind of usually goofy. Like Dead Island had one where they sold like half of a female like torso, and people are all
What?
like,
Yeah. I
So
thought
you did.
about talking about that one, but yeah.
What,
you know,
like what? Like was it like a
Yeah.
one of those? What's the word I'm looking? Like a mold of one? Like
yeah. Like
that was
a
the deluxe
statue-
edition.
yeah, it's not one you get to wear over your chest like Ed Gein, but it is one you get to put on your desk like a little Ed Gein. So I wasn't going to do that one, but in the same vein, very quickly, RE6 comes out, and to celebrate RE6, they decided to, I want to say it's in London. Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now. Capcom decided to open a special butcher shop in London called Wesker and Son Resident Evil Human Butchery. Just like you think it is, they sold meat in the shape of human limbs. And
Jesus.
that's it. That's all it is. If you've never seen the RE6 logo, by the way, it looks like a girl blowing a giraffe. It's the best thing on the planet.
Oh, I remember people talking about that. It's a giraffe getting a blowjob, basically.
Oh my god, it's so funny. But if you don't have a picture of that, they basically did what like you imagine like a budding young psychopath would do, and like just shape like hamburger meat and stuff into the form of like feet and hands and shit. And they just decided that this is how we're gonna sell our game. And this is, I think, after the debacle with Dead Island, where people were all really like, kind of not feeling great about that.
I want to look up pictures of the Resident Evil one, but I know I'm just going to be like, it's still too much, even though I know it's ground beef. Like, so the second one that I picked is one. There's a lot going on here, guys. Like, there were a lot of choices made by the fucking studio in EA and so Dante's Inferno. I'm not sure if you guys remember or ever played Dante's Inferno. I feel like I played it maybe as like in an emulator just to see, but it was a game, 2010. It was loosely based on the Divine Comedy. Oh, we lost Mike. With obvious changes to it, like it's not the poet Dante. Instead, it's a Templar knight fighting through the levels of hell.
Hmm.
Style wise,
It's basically a God of War clone.
it's a God of War clone. Yeah, it got okay reviews. There were some people that were super into it. It was like 6s and stuff out of 10s. Maybe some 7s. But like I said, there's a lot of stages. So first up, probably one of my favorite ones, just because it's kind of funny and simple, is EA offered a $6.66 discount on September.
Oh god
Yeah,
damn it! That's so
but they,
like edge
but they offered it on September 9th of 2009. So
Of course, this
666
is
on
invert
999
upside
upside down. And it was silly. And it's like, I know EA is an evil corporation. They don't do anything for the
That's
gamers.
Arnold Schwarzenegger end of days level cleverness.
Exactly. It's odd because why would they give a discount? But okay. But this was also done in tandem with EA sending $200 checks to journalists in the mail, prodding them to either accept and succumb to greed,
Oh,
Oh
wow.
god damn it!
or don't and suffer for wasteful spending, waste of resources. And there was a note that accompanied every check. Okay. And it read, in Dante's Inferno, greed is a two-headed beast. Hoarding wealth feeds one beast, and squandering it satiates the other. By cashing this check, you succumb to avarice. By hoarding filthy lucre, but by not cashing it, you waste it, and thereby surrender to prodigality. Make your choice and suffer the consequence for your sin, and scoff not, for consequences are imminent. They sent that to a whole bunch of people. One person burned theirs as like made a record of it or showed it or whatever. And another one
Yeah.
cashed it and then made the point to publicly show that they then donated the money to a women's charity. But this ties to another part of this marketing campaign.
Oh god, why do theater kids get to make games?
And it was most likely in response to this part of the marketing campaign. There was also a website where you would order the game that would deem you a heretic for ordering it. I couldn't find video, pictures, or anything, even after my Internet Archive rabbit hole dive. The publishers also sent small wooden boxes to select developers. And when those boxes were opened, can either of you guess what it would play that could only be stopped by destroying the box with a hammer?
Oh god.
I have no idea.
Is it a popular song or is it like a kid's
It's
song?
a popular song.
Is it Rick Roll?
Not a kid's song. That's a regular song.
Dom got it. It was Rick
Oh
Roll.
god dang it!
I was
Oh,
hoping
good job,
not. I'm like,
Dom.
no, it can't be. Oh, God,
yeah.
it's got to be.
Yes. They sent boxes that you had to smash to pieces in order to stop them from playing Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Now, one of the ones that
That's
actually
amazing.
made the news, because there's still more, they didn't end here, was that EA hired a bunch of actors to portray Christians and protest Dante's Inferno at E3. They passed out pamphlets and held up signs that said, "Hell is not a video game," and "Trade in your PlayStation for a PlayStation." And because I'm an idiot, immediately, as soon as I read PlayStation, I was just like,
You
stupid
thought racist.
Mongolians. um,
You're the most like kind-hearted liberal out of everybody in the group. You immediately go to the most racist answer.
you have to
and then
know
check
your
yourself.
enemy to
That's
fight.
why you played Dante's
Yes.
Inferno. This is some amount of penance
Now,
for
the last step to all of this, which ties back to the guy donating to the women's, allegedly, we're not sure if the timeline lines up, but it could. And I'm going to bring I'm going to open this picture first because
Please.
this is an important picture. I'm going to zoom in on this and I will share it in a second. So the reason why it was important that they donated to a women's charity is because at Comic-Con that year, EA encouraged people to take sinful photos with Comic-Con booth babes. And as we can all expect, this is the one that went off the fucking rails
Oh boy.
and caused the most trouble because people were like pushing in. I mean, borderline sexual harassment, all of that stuff. They had to be shared directly to EA via email or social media. And EA actually issued a public apology for this one afterwards because it got pretty rough.
Oh boy.
no.
I cannot find any sort of proof as to whether or not EA canceled it or if it was just like they apologized after the fact, because trying to stop something like that at an event like Comic-Con, like they probably just could not.
I hope they realize the
Do
people
that.
that would do that challenge are guys that look like me.
Yes.
It's gonna be all bad.
So this is the sign that they used. I found this poster advertising the contest. So a night with the hottest girl at Comic-Con, dinner, booty, and more.
Oh boy.
Commit acts of lust, take photos with any
Oh.
booth babe, your Twitter and all of that, repeat. One handpicked winner gets dinner and a sinful night with two
Jeez.
hot girls, limo service
Oh,
paparazzi, and a chest full of booty.
I'm sorry to laugh, but that is pretty funny.
It's just like, it's so much.
I'm
All of this for
picturing one of
one
those
game.
big neck bearded guys
Oh god, no, they're me.
that won.
They're me. They're gonna be in like whatever was hot at the time, whatever pro wrestler. It's gonna be, the Undertaker shirt.
I don't know, man. I got a feeling that there was probably a couple of fedora wearers who are just like, excuse me, my lady.
Right.
I wish to enter this contest and take a photo with your beautiful visage. And and then when they got mad, they hulked out and flipped the fucking booth and nerd raged. And whatever fucking noises they make.
What year was this?
20.
Oh,
10?
okay, that's way older than I thought.
Yeah, it's surprisingly far back.
When I was in college, when I was going to state, it was like early 2000s. So that was back like still like in the rap rock era kind of. And that's when they first started
yeah.
releasing like Axe body spray and stuff. One of the competing brands who I don't remember off the top of my head, their whole ad campaign was just like Axe, where you'd spray it and then like the girls would jump on you. So they were walking around, these two gorgeous models were walking around the entire campus. And what they would do is they would stop to dorks like me, and then they would spray you, and then they would tackle you. And I think it lasted all of like half a day because they were doing it for there was nothing there was no such thing as like viral yet, but they were doing it for like the quote unquote viralness to get them into an ad campaign. And the poor guys they would choose wanted to run away every time. Oh my God. I felt so bad.
I just have this feeling that they tackled one guy and he flailed and just like broke one of their noses on accident or something like that. But it's funny because you mentioned the rap rock era, and when you were talking about Concord's 25,000 records sold, I was thinking about like all of this money, all of this time trying to capitalize on this. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Limp Bizkit's 2011 album also sold like 25 to 30,000 copies trying to have lightning strike again. And I don't know why I got that in my head. But also, I used to wear a lot of Axe body spray, and I stopped, and somebody was like, dude, stop spraying that in here. It smells like a French whorehouse. And that was the last time I used Axe body spray.
I didn't know how popular it was. I thought it was one of those things where universally we all thought it was like terrible. And then I found out that I guess it was super popular in Europe. So like it's just everywhere. Every train car, everything. Just reeking of Axe.
Wait, Mike, when you mentioned Dead Island, it reminded me of Dying Light's pre-order bundle. Did you hear about that?
Oh, no.
It was the most expensive pre-order bundle ever created.
What was it?
It was called My Apocalypse Collector's Edition, priced at £250,000.
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which is approximately $386,000 US at the time.
I love you for
Whoa.
converting it.
I
to
know. I
improvement.
just remembered. I'm like, wait a minute. Dying Light had this stupidly expensive one.
I don't remember this.
And here's what was included in this custom pre-order bundle. You would get, when the game came out in 2015, it included a custom built zombie apocalypse proof house by Tiger Log Cabins, 4 signed steel book copies of the game, professional parkour lessons, a trip to Techland Studio in Poland, and unique in-game items like a custom character skin and night vision
I
goggles.
was gonna say just character skins. God damn,
Amazing.
that's incredible.
Despite being marketed as the world's most expensive collector's edition, the bundle was never sold because, according to Techland's PR manager, said it was just a marketing ploy designed to generate buzz and media attention, but it wasn't an actual product available for
I
purchase.
thought nobody knew how to build a house.
Or
Nobody has
they
any-
just knew nobody would be crazy to
Nobody
actually
has
buy this.
actual skills here. Nobody actually can survive a real apocalypse.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. I've never heard of this. You got 4 copies of the game?
Yeah, because it was a 4-player co-op game.
Oh, that's right. It was a 4-player.
Dying Light was?
Dying Light 2. Or sorry,
must not
sorry,
realize-
sorry. First one, Dying Light. You're right.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I must not realize which game Dying Light was then.
But yeah, you could have because it's like one of those like online type games that like friends could hop into your game and play with you, and then they could hop out.
I just love that. That's incredible.
Sorry, I had to throw that in because I'm just like, wait a minute, that was definitely a bad marketing, or I guess in their eyes is like, it's good, it's gonna get attention, people are gonna be talking about it, but we're not actually gonna sell it.
I mean, should have been able to sell it, but I understand why. But I mean,
Yeah,
is other pictures or like other dimensions of that? Was it just like a fucking 8x10 shack, or was this like something cool?
I don't know. It sounds like it was just an idea.
Ah.
I don't think they actually had like, here's a rough idea of what it looks like.
So like
Okay.
let's pretend you guys ran this. I have nothing for this. So if you don't worry about it. But let's
Let's go for
let's
it.
pretend you actually ran a marketing campaign and that was your budget. $250,000.
$50,000,
Right? What would be the worst possible thing you could possibly give somebody for that price to hype up your game?
If you successfully kidnap a booth babe from Comic-Con, I will give you $250,000.
And try to auction her off if you want to see her live?
Yes. Like kidnap a person and I will give you money and a one-of-one limited edition skin for this game. That seems like the worst thing possible.
I like the one of one.
And there's ways I could make it worse, but for the sake of human decency, I won't.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about it now. I'm thinking like 250 grand. I drive to your house and I punch you in the face as hard as I can the moment you open the door. And it just gets you the chance to get into a lottery for an access code to my game. I like your answer better though. Dom?
I don't know.
He has morals. This is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, so do I. That's why I'm not going to do. I'm not going to
No,
do the
kidnapping is
kidnapping. I'm just
fine.
going to pay. I'm going to pay someone else to do it.
Oh.
I'm not the
Oh, no,
person
yeah,
doing
he's
it.
not
Oh,
doing
right.
it. No. He's
Yeah, I'm not the bad guy. I'm just giving the funding away. It's not my fault someone took the bait, right? Isn't that how it works?
So I'll make this last one quick, as much as I can anyway.
Yeah, take your time. Don't worry, man.
So my last choice, it's kind of a cheat, but I'm going with 90s era video game publisher Acclaim. The company's final true run during its dying days meant that they were desperate for anything that could bring them hype. This is the same company that intentionally chose to name their company Acclaim, so that way they could be listed above their rival Activision and Rolodexes. So if you owned a business, you would look at them first. That is how fucking petty they are. They're obviously gone now. John would know Acclaim best as the company that ported the home versions of Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
My
so that's
shit.
why you've heard of them, even though they're
I've
not
heard of
around.
the
That's my
name,
shit.
and I wondered what happened to him.
You'll know them from the N64 hit Turok Dinosaur Hunter. If you're Shadow, you don't know them at all because they were already dead by the time you graduated high school.
No,
You know, so, you know.
I've seen that
I've
name.
seen that name.
Perfect.
But yeah, they were
Hey,
probably
I know
dead
that
by
guy.
then.
They had their shine, and it was huge, and you knew if you close your eyes, you know what the Acclaim logo looks like, but if you've never played a game of theirs, you're never going
Right.
to. For guys like me, I really knew them because they made the worst pro wrestling games on the planet. Whoever's listening to that even likes wrestling games, you're going to remember this and go, "Oh, yeah, I like that." And then you're like, "No, I didn't." So they made Warzone, they made Attitude, they made In Your House, they made ECW Hardcore Revolution, and they made Wrestling Legends. I'm sorry, Legends of Wrestling 1 and 2. All soulless, more soulless than The Undertaker, more cross-eyed than Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Terrible games, but I owned every fucking one. So,
Of course you did.
are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Of course you did.
I could tell you different things about each of them. I could tell you which characters were in your house and what their special moves were. And these are all bad. These are all bad.
yeah.
But before they declared bankruptcy, they declared war on goodwill. And some of the highlights of this era. So more or less Acclaim based in the United Kingdom. So when John was mentioning all the London stuff, it got me in my head that maybe this is all UK. So when he was talking about the gas one, I'm like, do they just do UK because they can get away with it? But I guess not. So first one, Acclaim wanted to place small billboards for 2002 Shadow Man 2 on the gravestones of the recently deceased. So they argued that since there were no laws against advertising on Nana's headstone, they would be free to do whatever they wanted to. And we're actually quoted as saying that this particular ad campaign would be an interest of poor families to subsidize the burial costs for their loved ones.
Oh my God.
Holy
Right? So depending on how big the
Wow.
monument you want to grandpa, that's how much money they would give you and how big they would have Shadow Man plastered on top of it, right? Shadow Man 2 would go on to receive average reviews from London writers and tepid reviews from long dead haunted relatives. In that same year, Turok Evolution, same company, remind you, offered 10 grand to the first family that named their baby Turok on September 1st, which was the game's release. This was upping the ante from a previous offer of $500 in an Xbox to anyone who would legally change their name to Turok outright. Allegedly, 5 people claimed the $10,000 baby name prize. Although I wasn't able to confirm whether or not anybody actually received the money.
Yeah.
Did you see the same thing?
No. I just figured like a lot of these, it's hard to confirm.
Yeah.
So it's like, it kind of makes sense. There's like not a lot of follow-up done, it seems like, on them from at least the journalistic side.
Well, here's the crazy thing, and the reason why I think there's the reason for that. In 2020, VG 24/7 investigated the $500 one, and they located the existence of one person who admitted that they were actually an actor. So what they would do is they would hire actors to announce they changed their name, like in their local, UK paper, right, whatever city they're
Yeah.
from. And then they would say, "My name is now Turok." They would go to whatever event that Acclaim had, and then they would go back home and be Gary again. But for whenever they wanted to, hey, you're Turok for this event. Now you're not really Turok. Last couple, they added 2 extra X's to Dave Mirra's freestyle BMX, turning it into
Yep.
BMX Triple X. John would know this. Don would not.
I remember this one. It was at the same time as the Tony Hawk boom. So
Yes.
like we're just like, oh shit, it's the BMX version of Tony Hawk. This is awesome.
And it's technically the sequel. So there was a minute there, Don, where like extreme sports was the thing. So like
Oh,
there were games like Too
Right.
Extreme and like everything that had snowboards in it.
And then they fucking ruined it with Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like roller derby, but then they would add like a machine gun. It'd be stuff like that. BMX Freestyle, Dave Mirra's BMX Freestyle was a very popular game at the time, believe it or not. It was actually sold really well. When they did the sequel, BMX Triple X, Acclaim, for some crazy reason, said, well, what we're going to do is we're going to include grainy footage of local stripper boobies. So it's like a bunch of like nude codes. It's a bunch of like, this is like PS1-ish, PS2, I can't remember, but that era. And you could tell they were trying to be naughty, but couldn't be too naughty. And they told Dave Mirra none of this. So Dave Mirra, the guy whose name is on the box, didn't know they were about to do this to his name. This game goes down in infamy as being one of the worst marketing moves of all time. Nobody's trying to buy it. Just like how your Dead Space 2, like what parent is going to buy this for their kid? One, right? And then
Right.
2, it's the guy whose name is on the box is just like, do not ever include me in anything ever again.
Yeah.
As far as I know, this is the last game with him on it. Period. A couple other ones. They painted, so for Virtua Tennis 2, they painted the Virtua Tennis logo on trained homing pigeons, then released them over Wimbledon. They
Amazing.
claimed the innovation was called the flying billboard. Thought it was going to be like a thing you would do every year with every tennis game. Never
Was
happened.
this Acclaim still?
This is Acclaim still. This is all Acclaim. This is all within the
Jeez.
same 2000-ish period because they were running out of money so fast that anything went. Anything went. I want to say originally I thought this was all the same guys coming up with these plans,
Yeah.
but I think they were just cycling through the same meatheads. Oh, you know what I mean? Like over and over and over.
Do you want to hear after you're done, I'll give you one kind of funny tidbit about Acclaim
Oh yeah.
that goes with their fall, but keep going.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, no, all good. To promote Gladiator Sword of Vengeance, they created a bleeding poster at a bus stop that leaked red dye for several days. The posters weren't designed to recycle the dye. It just spills into the streets. So like after 7 or 8 days, they had to hire, they're broke by the way, hire cleanup crews so they wouldn't get fined to clean up the fake blood off the sidewalk. That's obviously not an easy thing to do if it's been sitting. And then finally for Burnout 2, which may be a series you're aware of, Shadow, they kind of did what John's did, where they offered to pay speeding tickets to anybody in the UK who got a speeding ticket on day 1 of the game's release. They do cancel it, not for ethical reasons, because of obviously a bunch of speeding drivers can now drive with impunity. But because by the
Right.
time Burnout 2 was launched, Acclaim had no more money.
Oh,
They basically, the end result of this unhinged marketing area for them, they lose $100 million. So whatever they started with, they were at now negative 100 million after all of this bullshit. And then of course Acclaim no longer exists. I don't know. I remember reading somewhere that another company bought them to try to release.
So that's actually what I was gonna tell you about. Yeah. So Acclaim crashes, burns, runs out of assets, all of that stuff. And that was under Acclaim Entertainment.
Right.
Right. So in, I want to say 2007, they basically kind of refocused under Acclaim Games.
Okay.
Right. And they had a couple of short-lived games. They had an online game that had a really healthy, like 10, 15 million, really more popular in Asia than it was in the US or any like of the Western countries. And in 2010, just 3 years after, a company called Playdom acquired them and then shut them down 3 months later.
I didn't know.
So they died, came back, died again. But as of September 10th, 2025,
No.
Play Acclaim or Acclaim Inc.
No way.
has announced about 10 new games.
What?
Yep.
Oh my.
They are attempting to come back. And it looks like they're doing it mainly as like a name recognition producer. Because each game is a different developer under them. And it looks like it's all indie stuff, but there's like Basketball Classics, Snowboard Syndicate, stuff like that. It looks like they're trying to touch on some of their older stuff, but they're back for at least now for a little bit.
No, what? Please tell me like their marketing is still the same guy, just like waiting for his
I
chance.
wonder. We're back, baby.
Virtua Tennis 3 on top of every pro wrestler I find.
Wait. Oh, Mike, it's funny you say that the company ran out of money, so they couldn't, pay for any of that stuff. That reminds me of a game I hadn't heard of until Mandalore Gaming talked about it, called Advent Rising. They offered a $1 million challenge to the first person to find like all the hidden symbols within the game. But it was a similar situation that they claimed they had to end the challenge because they think people were going to cheat or something. It's a lame excuse, but it was really, they were out of money. The game didn't sell well, so they couldn't offer the $1 million.
I don't remember the $1 million. I remember it coming out for the Xbox, I want to say, during a time period where they came out with like Too Human, all these games that look the same. I just hard passed on Advent Rising, whatever the fuck it was. But I think Mass Effect got my money that year.
Well, it's crazy. Advent Rising was supposed to be a trilogy, and it was supposed to copy, funny enough, Mass Effect, or at least the idea before Mass Effect came out. that your decisions would carry over into the next game, and then the next game and the third game.
Oh, interesting.
So you can kind of argue it was like, oh, Advent Rising was going to do it first before Mass Effect.
You can argue that if the decision was to close an entire company down, that they made the correct one.
There's actually one more I had really quick.
No, please do. Please do.
THQ's Homefront promotional event in San Francisco back in March of 2011. Do you guys remember that one?
No. I do remember
No.
Homefront. Homefront, the Koreans were your enemy. Like, we got sick of Nazis.
No, but Homefront was basically like a video game version of Red Dawn, the movie.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
Think of it like that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in that then.
Yeah. So there, for the release event, they decided to release approximately 10,000 red balloons to simulate a message sending method used by South Koreans to North Koreans. However, due to strong winds and rain, caused many balloons to fall into the San Francisco Bay, sparking widespread environmental concern and public backlash. The stunt was criticized by residents, environmental groups, and wildlife experts over the potential harm to marine life and the pollution of the bay. Although THQ claimed the balloons were biodegradable and stated that they had retained a cleanup crew, the incident led to criticism and raised awareness about the environmental risks of balloon releases.
The game should have just been a Captain Planet game. That's actually how I would market Captain Planet again. I'd just dump a bunch of oil in the ocean.
I mean,
Right.
have they seen how fucking dirty the bay is?
Right.
Honestly, right? Might cover up some of the fecal matter.
Right. It's already messed up. What's some, biodegradable balloons going to do to it?
I love my fellow Bay Area peoples, man. There's no, it's okay if we have, all of this rampant corruption and stuff, but hey, if there's a sea lion who's being misgendered, I will march. I will march for several days.
There'll be a whole parade,
Oh my God.
Occupy
And I
San
will be in it. I
Francisco.
will be in it.
Someone
Now,
misgenders
if you talk
a seal.
shit, yeah. if you talk shit about one of the fucking restaurants at Fisherman's Wharf, Bubba Gump's isn't that great. The fuck it isn't.
You can get that anywhere, but not here. Not in this version of it.
That's the entire Bay Area, man. I saw. Sorry, this is a fucking tangent from what we're talking about, but I saw literally I was going into Facebook to check some stuff for our Facebook page, and I guess I had this do you remember in Hayward group that I joined at one point, and people, a Casper's Hot Dogs was closing. And there were around 700 comments in their lament. I'm like, it's a fucking hot dog. Go to Costco.
Right.
You can buy that hot dog at
what are you
Lucky's.
complaining about? They're like, well, you just don't understand. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I fucking understand that I could go get 12 times as many hot dogs at the store.
So, hey, thank you guys for humoring me on this one. I wanted something very
No, this was fun,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
something easy to get into. Plus, after watching all those Concord rabbit holes, I'm like, I don't know if I started to get Stockholm syndrome, but I'm like, yeah, you're right. That game is too woke, and I'm like, I don't know if I like where this is making me go.
Right.
I thought you were going to be like, man, I really want to play Concord. I always see those. I'm like, oh, I wish I could have played it so I could have known.
Right.
And we celebrated millions of dollars in losses on hot garbage just now.
Yep.
So I'll wrap it up for us real quick. This is Underscore for the rest of the Time Pals. We'll see you next time.
Story of the Snyderverse.
Thank you for listening to The Time Pals. Please like and subscribe. The Time Pals are the geek cornerstone of the Mayday Media Network. Check out all of the Mayday Media podcasts at maydaymedianetwork.com